Welcome to episode 5 of the Rebel Rundown. This week we're going to be talking about semi-finals. We're going to have a bit of a recap as well as talking about a bunch of our members who have got high rocks coming up. And we're also going to get into some tips and tricks for maintaining your training through winter. So that's what we're doing. This is Hayley and I'm Ben and we're going to kick it off.
Yeah, it's exciting. We've had a busy few months coming off the back of the Open and the quarterfinals. I think semi-finals was about a month ago now, which I can't believe it. It went really fast and I don't know, it was crazy, but I can't believe it's over. I don't know. We're halfway through our training block at the moment too. I think it's week 6 of the 12-week block. So that's been good. And yeah, that's it. It's just cold. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, the last week or two has really felt like winter all of a sudden.
Yesterday in here in the earlies, it was like -1. Al was telling me last night that it was like -1.6 degrees.
Yeah, it was in the negatives.
Yeah.
My car was completely iced over. So
yeah,
it's
today
cold.
wasn't as cold, but
the days have been pretty good. It's not like we're
it
getting
is.
smashed with rain and wind and stuff at the minute. So
Yesterday was beautiful. We went for a run yesterday and it was like so nice in the sun. That was like perfect working out weather. But the morning's just cold and the night, as soon as the sun goes down, you're screwed.
Yeah, so anyway, that's winter.
We've also got a busy few weeks coming up.
We
What have
do.
got coming up? We got Friday Night Lights tomorrow.
Yeah, Controlled Chaos Open Series. So there's 7 of our members jumping in that, which will be cool. We'll share all the live streams and things that'll get out to you before this airs. So you'll have hopefully seen it all, and hopefully we have awesome results for that, as well as High Rocks next weekend, I believe that is.
Yeah, that's next Saturday and Sunday. So I think half our crew is on Saturday, half our crew will be on Sunday.
Yep.
We've also got a pull-up bar muscle-up workshop this weekend, which will be good. And then All-Stars coming up too. So I think, how many teams do we have for that? Like 6?
I think there's about 5
5
locked in.
Yeah.
There's potentially 6 or 7. So.
Yeah, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
Have a bit of a showing there, and lots of crew from Thornbury will be there too. And All Stars this year in Melbourne's actually like local. It's like in Thornbury, so that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Hopefully, it should be a good venue. So, and not too far to travel, which is awesome.
That's the big one.
So yeah, a little bit going on. It's probably actually the next couple of months a bit quieter than what the first half of the year has been, which has been pretty hectic overall. This has been one thing after the other. And obviously at the moment we've got Coach Al who's come on board, who is really working in like a trainee capacity at the minute and is not far off starting to take classes on her own, which is awesome. She's starting to really growing confidence, and she's got an awesome idea of like how we operate and how we run things and the standards that we try and uphold in the gym, because she's been a member for about 2.5 years. So that's exciting, but obviously a bit of a transition period for us at the minute as well. Andy, Hayley and myself are all working a little bit extra and a little bit harder and covering classes while Katie's on holiday, but as you know, she's also moving on from her coaching role here as well. So bit happening on that note. Actually, she's just last week completed the High Rocks finals and
World champs. Yep.
Yeah.
Her and Amy. I think their time was, I wrote it down on there, 1:13. I think.
Hour and 13.
Yeah, which they were saying it was a tough race for many reasons. Like I think potentially Amy had a bit of a niggle like in her hip, and then it was like humid as heck in France. And also she said there was like a lot of congestion like on the course. So I guess that's like one thing with High Rocks, that, you know, you can't really go as fast as you potentially could because you are on the course with like heaps of other people. So, you know, if you get to a station and there's no station free for you to go on, you just have to wait. So, they said that there was a fair bit of congestion, so it wasn't like the smoothest race, but 1:13 still a pretty good effort.
I think it was a little bit slower, wasn't it, than what they'd done previously?
Well, they also did it heavier though.
Yeah, gotcha.
So in Melbourne, they did the regular pairs, and then they had to do the pro pairs weight at the World Champs. So I don't know that you can really compare their two times because like everything's heavier, like all the sleds, the sandbag weights, the wall balls heavier. So yeah, I don't know
Probably
that it's
all
really
things
comparable.
considered with the congestion and the extra like work.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty good
probably
time.
actually done better, but
yeah, I think it's just hard to compare, especially when they've never done a pro race before. Like they've only done one other high rocks, so yeah, I guess I'll have to go back next year and compare again.
Yeah. But I think they really enjoyed it. I had a brief chat to Katie online, and she's also just happy to have that done and just kick into holiday mode now and make the most of that, which I'm sure that they are
living it
enjoying.
up.
So, but well done, girls.
Katie, if you're listening to this, post some stuff on your social media. I want to see what you're doing. They haven't posted like anything.
It's top secret.
I don't know where they are. I want to know. They're touring around like Europe, so let us live it with you.
They've got no time for the gram while they're living it up over there.
Fine. We'll just be here in cold Melbourne and they can be living it up, not telling us. Oh, man. Anyway, that's it. So, yeah, let's get into our semi-finals recap. So, Torian Pro. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's a great event. And obviously having one of our own competing there in Hayley makes it a lot more, I guess, interesting and you're more involved in it. But it's awesome anyway. And then on top of that, we had an awesome crew of members there as well as Hayley's family. And they were just all frothing it. They were absolutely loving it. We didn't get to spend heaps and heaps of time with them, but, every day we'd go and, watch at least a couple of events with everyone and hang out. But a lot of them just stayed there and watched just about everything and like had athletes that they were following and people they were cheering for. And like for Hayley's family, they're brand new to CrossFit really for the most part. And like her brother Ollie was just loving it. He was like recording her split times and then comparing her to like other athletes and things that were going on. And
he was
saying,
really cool. He was saying to me too, he's like, on the last day, I remember going up and sitting with them. He's like, Hayley, are you going to be able to do those muscle ups? And I was like, yeah, like, why? He's like, oh, well, just every time you climb that rope, like we were like, holy moly, how did she do that again? Like, how is she doing this? And I'm like, surely you can't do the muscle ups. I'm like, oh boy. So anyway, he obviously doesn't look at my Instagram stories, but and then for like the 2 weeks after, the week after, because the semi-finals for the other like regions were going on, he was just like sending me he was just watching them. He watched like every event of like the North America East semi-final. He's like, oh, did you see what happened to Tia Toomey here and Hayley Adams there? And I'm like, no, I'm busy. But he wasn't. He was watching. Yeah.
Geeking out.
It was very funny.
Which is cool. So, yeah, that part of it, for me, probably is a highlight, like just our community, the buzz around everyone getting involved, supporting Hayley, having a great weekend was really cool. And like our crew, I mean, I wasn't paying heaps of attention. There was probably some gyms with big groups and stuff there, but like our crew rocked, their supporter tees and like everyone had them on and they all really stood out, and I thought that was really cool. Like to me, we had like a really good presence there. So yeah, it was fun.
It was pretty crazy. Like one of the things on there is like, what's our highlights? But everything he says, I'm like, that's a highlight. That's a highlight. Like it was, so cool. Like Ollie and Eddie and that, they made a few signs. So there was like one point, I think the handstand workout, event 4, like that was the coolest one, like running out on the floor, because Rose and Kathy and Anne Sophie, they were like right next to me. I was in like the end lane and they'd sort of crept down and were like literally right next to me. Like they were basically doing the workout with me. And then I heard like my crew up with the signs, and then I heard the Wolf Den crew, and then the commentator was like, Team Hayley Adams is ready to go, like, because he'd like seen the signs too, and like that was crazy. Like it was so awesome having everyone in the crowd. And like Byron, there was one workout that I finished and Byron's like got his phone literally right above my face. Like I'm on the floor and I don't know how he was there, but he had his phone like right above my face. It was crazy. I'm like just so grateful that everyone could come, and like also the people at home, like I'd look at my phone and someone else had like posted that they were watching me on the live stream, and it was just it was wild.
Yeah, it was cool. Like a lot of people got a kick out of
Yeah.
seeing you compete at that level, and I guess probably a bit of pride and whatnot, being a part of it to some degree, having from someone from our gym, doing those sort of things. So yeah, it was really cool from
and
that
with
sense.
the t-shirts too, like it's crazy. People still wear them in the gym and just having them, everyone up there wearing them. Another funny Ollie moment, because Ollie actually didn't. You better listen to this, Ollie. By the way, I'm sure he will. He loves CrossFit these days.
We'll send it to him.
Yeah, he didn't buy a t-shirt. I asked him like 3 times because I sent it to our little family group chat being like, oh, does anyone want a tee? And my dad's like, yep. And the other 2 didn't say anything, my brother and sister. And then I messaged them again and Ollie was like, nah. And then his girlfriend was in here and was like, oh, let's put one down for Ollie. And I messaged him, I'm like, what size? And he's like, no, I don't want one. And Tori didn't want one either. And then he literally was like, he's like, Hayley, next time you need to tell me that the t-shirt are a uniform because we were so left out without our t-shirt. And I'm like, bro, like I asked you like 3 times if you wanted one. He's like, yeah, but everybody up there was wearing them. They were a uniform. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's learned his lesson.
Next time.
Yep, make sure you get a t-shirt. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
What about on like a personal level for you from a competition sense? What would you say your individual highlight out on the floor was?
I don't know, there's so many. Do you mean like an actual moment or just like in general?
Yeah, any moment. It doesn't have to be like a performance-based thing. It could be something else, but like something out on the floor that, just for you individually that you were either proud of or enjoyed.
Can I have like 5?
Well, yeah, you can have
Okay.
one.
The first one. Well, okay, can we just talk about each workout and then I can talk about my highlights?
Well, how long have we got today?
Well, Elsie's coming at 12:30, so we got till then.
All right, workout one.
Okay, workout 1. So I was pretty excited for this workout. So that was like the 5 rounds of 800 meter run and 10 clean and jerks. I was excited because I had like practiced it down here at the track and it felt so good.
Begrudgingly practiced it.
Yeah, I didn't. I was so nervous when I practiced it, but then I did it and I was like, oh yeah, I love running. Like this is so fun. Anyway, but I was pretty nervous. Like warming up was fun. Like Daisy was back there, so it wasn't quite as scary, but like every second we got closer to it happening, like I got a little bit more nervous. And then we like went out on the floor and I literally was like so nervous, but all I was thinking was, it's okay, you get to run out of the stadium in like 1 minute. Like I just was waiting to like run out of there because it was pretty crazy, like running into the stadium and there's like everyone watching. And especially that one, there was like 20 girls on the floor. But so yeah, then we did that. I went pretty fast, but yeah, probably
most
a bit
people
too
listening
fast.
to this have probably watched you.
Yeah. So it was pretty quick, but it was fun. I don't know. It was pretty crazy. One moment during that, which I thought was cool, was like I sort of knew where everyone was at, and there was a point that I was like running, and there was someone like right behind me, and I was like, that's definitely Grace Walton. Like I could hear, she's like right behind me. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like I'm running, Grace Walton's just like running directly behind me right now. Like she's about to overtake me, but like, and then she did, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. So
yeah, it was cool. And for everyone watching at home, that was probably the highlight one because you were on the screen for pretty much the whole workout. And sitting somewhere between first and third first and second for the first probably 3 rounds, and then sort of Maddie got ahead, and then I think maybe on the 4th run, Grace got and then it was like a thing of like, can she hold on? She had a pretty big gap between the 5th place person, who's a very, very experienced, good athlete, and I was like looking at the screen trying to work out how close it was, and then like saw her come in and she had to run around further to her barbell than where the girl coming 5th was, and I was like, fucking go, like you need to
I ran
move.
in and Ben was like, you can't stop now.
And like she probably got 2 or 3 reps out before the girl behind her started.
Yeah.
And in the end, I think you might have got her by about a rep. Like
I don't know,
she might have caught one
I
up
don't
or
know
something.
that she's that close.
It was pretty close in the end.
Really?
Yeah, she was catching. Like
right.
you were moving good on that last bar, but she was moving a little bit quicker. And yeah, in the end, it might have been 2 reps or something. It was pretty close in the end.
Yeah.
Though. But yeah, held on and stayed in 4th, which was really cool. So yeah, placing that high on your first workout at that level is pretty awesome and cool to watch and good way to start.
So yeah, that was cool. That was the first workout. The second workout, I think I have 2 like highlights from that one. The first one, so basically because I came 4th in the first workout, so they seeded the next 2. So the next day was seeded from the first workout. So it meant that I was in the top heat because there's 8 people in a heat for the next 2 workouts, which was absolutely wild because there's 5 heats. So it was kind of cool. Mainly like I was pretty excited for this workout too, but the coolest part was standing in the tunnel. So basically before you run out on the floor, so you marshal and then they take you into these like stalls, which are like gates like for your lane. And then they walk you into the tunnel, which is like this dark, tunnel, and they've got this curtain and the guys in there are so nice. And they're like standing at the curtain, looking at the clock being like 30 seconds, 20 seconds. All right, 10 seconds, 3, 2, 1, go. And they open the curtain and you run out on the floor. But literally standing in that tunnel, because on the first workout, we didn't really get to stand in there because there was so many girls. Like it was, you couldn't all be in the tunnel. But on that one, I literally turned to Daisy. I was like, this is wild. Like, what is going on right now? And all the other girls were just like, what is she talking about? Like, who is this chick? But it was crazy. Like that was a really cool part. And like even the next workout, the same thing. Like just being in the tunnel with those girls was like wild. And then, that workout was good. I think my other highlight was like on my last round of double unders, I was like watching Daisy do her last set of front squats, which was pretty cool because you don't really have anything else to look at. So I was like just being there and watching her because obviously we've been doing a fair bit of training together. So it was pretty crazy to see her like absolutely smash that workout and smash through those 10 front squats, run across the line, like whilst also being on the floor. Like that was cool. So that was probably my highlight of the second workout. The third one, I didn't love that workout. I think, I don't know. It wasn't my best workout. I think I had like expectations for myself that I didn't reach, which was like a little bit disappointing. But I don't know. It was still fun.
Yeah. It's hard when you're in that top heat because everything's like more highlighted and everything's kind of like, if you're not performing how you want, like you see it a lot more because literally those top few girls especially are like just hammering through it. And so it can, especially your first time out there with a huge crowd and all the noise and all of a sudden you're sort of like toward the back of the group, like it can be a little bit overwhelming. So, like that was probably a workout where it's like, and it's a tough workout because if you make, just a couple of little errors, it's really, really costly.
This is a rope climb workout.
So you get punished
massively
on a, if you miss a legless rope climb, which Hayley missed, I think your second last one.
Yeah.
And then you got to like rest a long time and do it again. And basically she got to the very top of the rope, just had to reach like another foot up to get it. So it's a huge penalty if you miss and takes a lot more out of you. End up having to do an extra rope climb. And that was probably a workout, which we haven't sat down and reviewed it yet. We will at some point. But that's one where you get to learn a lot from, you know what I mean? And that workout, you'll probably learn more from that in review, in retrospect, than any of the other ones that you did. So
that's definitely the one that like I find the hardest to like look back on. Like I still haven't watched I've watched the live stream of like all the others except for that one.
You're not on it that much, so
at least well I've watched
when it started to drop off, it's not
I haven't watched
see too
it.
much, but
so anyway, it was still fun. Like I was probably I was just excited to go home after that. I think we went and we got Guzmani Gomez and like I'm super thankful for like Steve and Sarah mostly, and like Tessa was awesome on the first day, but then she went home. And Steve and Sarah, like massive shout out to them. They were just, along with Ben, but like they were just so awesome to like have there. And Nate was there that evening too, and like they all brought me back to life a little bit. And super grateful for them. They were just my biggest supporters there. Like they were awesome. They were in our room every morning, 6 a.m, having breakfast. Weren't allowed to leave. It was pretty fun. But yeah, anyway, that was the third workout. Fourth workout was the handstand walk one. We already sort of talked about that. That was pretty good. I think at that point, like, there's a question on there, like, what did you learn from the whole experience? And I think one thing that I learnt from the whole experience, I think this is one thing that, you know, comes with more experience in competition, is that it's really easy to get like sucked into what's going on the floor. So like in that first workout, I went out like so hard because, you know, I was like one of the first ones out on the run, and then the girl who was like right next to me was, you know, the best runner in the field. So I was like, I'm a good runner, I'm gonna run with her. And then she was running really fast and kind of got me a little bit. But similar thing happened like in the third workout. Like I might have gone out a little bit too quick and trying to keep up with other girls. So by the fourth workout, I was just like, nope, like let's get this back together. You love to pace, Hayley. So I just decided I was going to stay in my lane. Like on the rower, I was just imagining that like Ben was next to me, and it was just because we'd actually done a similar workout to this like a few days before. And in that workout, he was kicking up before me, and I was like, it's okay, like don't get sucked in to the race, because I know my limits, and I know that if I kick up too early, like I'm at a higher risk of, you know, coming down or failing or, you know, wasting time. So I was like, just imagine Ben's next to you. It's okay if he gets off the roll first and kicks up earlier, like just run your own race. You know what you can do here. And I think that workout, I was like the closest to, it's hard to compare your practice times compared to the competition times. But on that workout, I think I was like 2 or 3 seconds quicker at Torian than I was in the gym. Whereas like on all the other ones, I was way slower at Torian than I was in the gym. So yeah, I think that was good. I sort of ran my own race. Obviously like Rose and that were right next to me. That was really cool. And
you started to enjoy it a bit more there.
Yeah.
Like,
I was enjoying it before that too.
Yeah, but
I wasn't as stressed.
In a different
like,
way,
I was just ready to like, I wasn't as nervous on Sunday. Like I was kind of just ready to go out and have fun and just like do what I, you know, knew what I could do. So so that was workout 4. Anything to say on that or not really? That was kind of it.
No, it was the best thing was to see her more relaxed and actually like competing like she trains.
Yeah.
If anything, I thought like that was one that you could have probably afforded to push yourself a little more. But again, like all things considered, like that was a great way for her to start that day and not take risks and just, you know, feel comfortable that if she just executed in a way that she knew she could, that she'd get a good result, you know, toward the best of her ability. And that's all that you can really do. You can't magically just become the best athlete at a workout because you want to try that on the day. You know, it's about how you're prepared and your ability going in, and whether you can execute to that standard. So yeah, like that was really good. And it just set you up to have a really good day overall with the other workouts, you know?
Yeah. So yeah. No, yeah, I agree. It was good. Like, and as much as like, I agree with Ben, like I probably could have pushed a little bit harder. Like it wasn't as if I was absolutely floored at the end, but I was happy to just, you know, I think I needed a workout where I just felt like I was doing my thing again, because the other 3 I didn't feel like I was doing my thing. So workout 5, this was the snatches, which I think going into it, like this was, I don't know, I wasn't the most nervous for that workout just because I knew, again, like you can't just become something that you're not, like just because you're on the competition floor. So I knew it would be quite challenging for me. I was already just happy with like, if I hit any more than like 5 snatches at the first bar, like I'll be happy. Or not even 5, to be honest, like just any, I'll be happy. So I think I managed to hit 8 and I missed like 2. So I could have got 10, but you know, whatever. Like it's hard to know. And yeah, I think I was pretty happy that when I missed it, I looked at the clock and I sort of was like, oh, I'm definitely not going to get them done, but I didn't let that get in my head anyway. I was like, whatever, just get as many as you can and like hit a few more good reps. The highlight of that workout was I was rocking my Daisy t-shirt, and like my judge was like, I'm confused. What is that shirt? And I'm like, oh, I'm not Daisy, but I'm just repping her. So that was fun. And yeah, I don't know. That was fun.
Were you most nervous about that going in? Like that was the workout you were probably sort of like
no, I don't
not
think
looking
so.
forward to.
I don't think I was. I think I wasn't not looking forward to it. I just was like a little bit like frustrated like that was a workout in a way. Like I knew what I'd be, like I knew how it would go, but I wasn't nervous to like, yeah, I don't know. Like I knew that I'd be able to hit some snatches and I knew that it wasn't likely that I'd get through the first bar. So I was kind of okay with that. I'd say the workout I was most nervous for was the legless rope climb one, because both times I'd tested it, I was like right on the edge of finishing it, like right on. And that was like pretty hard effort. So I think that's why, like that one I was most nervous for out of all of them, because I knew I could probably finish it, but also I didn't know if I could finish it. And it would really come down to like, yeah, just how it went on the day. So I think I was most nervous for that one. Workout 5, I was like, yeah, probably the least excited for. I don't know. I wasn't that nervous for it though. You know, like I was just kind of, I knew how it would go. And it went exactly how I thought it would go. So yeah, anyway, that was fun. Bit of a nothing workout for me, but yeah. It just kind of fired me up to like work harder on my lifting and try and get stronger and not try, like be successful at getting stronger, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was workout 5. Workout 6, the last one.
Yeah.
I was probably most excited for this one, other than the first one. I was excited for that one too. But this workout looked fun. I hadn't really done ring muscle ups like very much leading into semis, just because I have had a few niggles. So I was like excited to do some muscle ups, because when you don't do something for a while, you like get a bit itching to do them. And we'd been like waiting, holding off for like this time to do it. So I was excited to do it. I was excited to use my grips for the second time, because I'd only used them once before, my new redback grips. So I was excited for that. Warming up, it felt pretty good. I don't know, it was funny, like in that workout, I went out and Ben's like, Haley, Haley, make sure you hold the rings when you come down. Like, don't do big sets. Hold the rings when you come down, because they're swinging around heaps. Like, girls are, you know, doing really small sets. Like, everyone's falling apart. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, good tips. And then afterwards, he's like, did you hear what I said? And I was like, yeah, I heard you, but I forgot. So, because I got up and I did like 5, which in the video, he's like got a video filming me and he's like, do 4. And then I did 5 and he was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, that worked out okay anyway, but just from like watching the heat before, I was like, oh shit, like people are eating crap on this workout. And little things like they'd fail a rep, or then they'd jump down and the rings are swinging all over the place and they're having to like wait and try and stop one and the other. And I'm like, people are losing a lot of time just making little errors here. So I wanted to try and just give her a quick heads up.
It was funny though, because with that, I was like, oh yeah, I'll think about that. Like, that's a really good tip. And then I just completely forgot. Like, I just jumped down from the top of the rings every time. And then I'm standing there like, what is going on here? Like, stop swinging.
Yeah. Did okay though anyway. Like, it wasn't going to make, Well,
I kind of needed the rest. Like, when I came down, like waiting for the rings to stop swinging, like you just got a bit more rest. So,
yeah.
And then the lunge, I broke it up twice, which I kind of wish I didn't put it down the second time. I definitely didn't need to. I just, like, watching the girls beforehand, like, basically, if you put the dumbbells down, like, before you cross the line, you had to, like, drag them back, or if you dropped them or something. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I put them down and then I only did one more length and put them down again. I don't know why I did that. I could have definitely gone to the end, but whatever. It didn't really matter. I only put them down for a second, picked them up and kept going.
It was your second best placing, I think, overall. Like, it was a really good performance, good way to end. And yeah, again, it was a well executed workout where you go, okay, you probably could have done it a little bit quicker, but like overall, like you'd be really happy with the effort still. So
yeah. But yeah, it was really fun. Like, that was a good workout, and the whole weekend was just so fun. Like, it definitely like lived up to my expectations. I don't know if it might have even exceeded them. I think it might have exceeded them, just because like the way I was there was better than I thought I would be. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to be super nervous and like not really enjoy it, but I actually did enjoy all of it. Like, the only workout I didn't really enjoy was that third workout, but like I was able to, like, Ben helped me to just sort of brush it off and like, you know, just get up and hit the last 3 workouts like to my best ability. So yeah, I was pretty happy. I was going to say something, but now I've forgotten. Oh yeah, another thing that I learnt. So first thing I'd say I learnt from the whole experience was that, yeah, it's easy to get sucked into like what everyone else is doing, and like you've got to remember. And I was like telling myself this sort of before going in, like you can only do what you can do. Like you're not going to become a completely different athlete. You're not going to become, Tia Toomey out on the touring pro floor when you're not Tia Toomey. So, yeah, I think like sticking to your game plan, making sure that you sort of stick to your game plan and just trust that like you'll get the best out of yourself that way and sort of stack up where you like can stack up that way. I think that's sort of one thing I learnt. And then another thing is that it is so different. Like doing the workouts there is so different than like doing them in the gym. And like we went back and forth like leading up to it. I didn't really want to do the workouts that many times in the gym. I didn't want to do them in full. I was like, I don't want to get these expectations, this, that, whatever. And Ben was like, no, let's do them. And I wouldn't say I like regret doing them at all. And I think, next year, qualify again, like I definitely would hit the workouts again. But I would just know that like, you're only really doing them for practice. Like you're not doing them to execute them exactly how you will on the day. And you're also like all of them, I went, except for, so the handstand walk one, I think I was like 2 seconds quicker at Torian than I was in the gym. And the snatch one, I didn't test. Or I attempted a few snatches and failed miserably. Yeah. So I guess I kind of did better in that one there than here. But like all of the other workouts, I went substantially slower in than in training.
The first one kind of doesn't count.
It was a longer run. Yeah.
Longer run. Well, you did 4 rounds. You didn't quite do it in full, but then it was a longer run. It was hotter up there.
Yeah.
That extra distance, and even just the fact that you did it at the track, there was some inclines and things. So not exactly comparable. You definitely worked harder.
Yeah, but, way harder. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like overall, and this is something like for Hayley, like she's really, I don't know, how many individual in-person comps have you done? 2?
Yeah, 2 including Torian.
Yeah, 2 including Torian.
And one of them was like, I was trash.
Yeah, so like, overall, like did a really good job. Everyone, even if you're a bit experienced, the likelihood that you're going to have some workouts where you just go out too hot in that environment is super high.
Yeah.
And even experienced people still fall into that trap at times. So it's a really easy thing to have happen. The other one too that we sort of chatted a little bit about is not just like being able to go at your pace and like know when to just hone in on yourself, how you're executing, and using what you've done like that's why you practice them, is so that you have the feel and you sort of know what is a good pace and what is not a good pace. That's the sort of the point of practicing. It's not to set a time that then you go, I'm going to redo it in this time. It's so that you've got a feel, so that when you get to say, and this was probably, on that rope climb one, I don't think you did a full 7 rounds. So like, you might do 5 and you feel...
We did it with the air squats.
Yeah.
And I think I did 10 rounds.
Yeah. So there's different, and then like you might do a certain bit and then like that extra round or 2 might be a bit different to what you think. But then the other thing is like knowing when to actually compete as well. So there's a couple of moments where Hayley was doing really good and she probably almost got too much in that zone of like doing what was in her control. And if she had and this is just toward generally the end of the workouts, but if you look across the field and you're like I'm 2 reps behind this person, just hold on, go faster, charge to the end.
Like I definitely could have done that on the last one.
And you just pick up a place or 2 here and there over a couple of workouts, and so there's times to get into the competitive mode in there, and it's like these are just things that as you become more experienced, you do more individual comps and stuff that you really start to get a feel for it and learn it, because you can't replicate it in the gym really. Like if you're training with high level people, you get like elements of it, but it's still generally in training, like you're not still going at those kind of intensities, and there's certainly not the pressure, and even just the judges, and having to sometimes deal with judge error. Like sometimes they just fucking get it wrong. They give you a no rep and it wasn't there, and you've just got to be composed, do the extra rep and just get on with it. And these are things that you just don't ever deal with in training.
Yeah, in training,
but, overall, pretty awesome. Very successful weekend. I think finished 22nd in the end. So, middle of the pack. And I think that's like honestly kind of like, we talk about areas you could have maybe done a fraction better. But realistically, like I think you finished roughly sort of where like with the field and the workouts that they tested, like it's sort of where we probably sort of predict you sort of finish.
Yeah. I think the only one that I could have done like a little bit better on was like definitely the last one I could have done like a few seconds quicker, like if I didn't put those dumbbells down, because I definitely didn't need to. And then the second one, I reckon I could have gone a little bit quicker. Like I broke the bar a few extra times, but it's nothing substantial that would have put me up like a million places. Like I think I would have still been in that middle of the pack, like area. So pretty happy with how it went. Like it was just a super fun weekend.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
Yeah, I mean, look, I said earlier about like our community and all that, like from that perspective, that was definitely the highlight. From a competitive perspective, just like the whole last day was a lot, like for me as a coach, like being around was nicer because you were more relaxed, but you were just enjoying it more, and you were doing the sort of things that we'd probably spoken about, where it is just like, being in your zone and executing your plan. Even though placing wise, you might have like done better on some of the other workouts and things, but like from a competitive perspective as a coach, like the third day I think was one that you can draw on and be like, okay, I can enjoy competing at this level, and I can take away the different things that we're going to learn and then package that all up into your next comp. And if you can put that all together or closer to how you want to do it, like you're going to perform better, but you're also just going to enjoy yourself a lot more as well. So yeah.
The last day was the best. Like I didn't feel I think the first day I was the most tired, just because like we had to wait around for ages. Like, I was awake at like 5 a.m. in the morning. Me and Tessa were like laying in my bed watching book repair TikToks at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I didn't compete till like 2. So you're basically waiting around doing pretty much nothing. Like me and Tess did go for a walk and like, we went to stadium and saw some people and that sort of stuff. But then you hit massive workout, you get this massive adrenaline dump, and I was just like absolutely cooked after, even though we only did one event. And then Tuesday, I think I was like less tired than Monday, but still pretty tired. Like after that second event, event 3, I was just like wrecked. I was like, we need to eat dinner and go to bed. So that's what we did after a bit of a debrief. And then the last day I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like, give me another event after the 6th one. And I think that is because those last 3 weren't as taxing as, some of the other ones on the other days. But I felt like I kind of got my energy back and I felt a little bit more like at home.
Well, you were just yourself, and I said that to her, I think that morning where I was like, just go and be Hayley out there. Yeah. Just go and be yourself. Do the workouts like you would normally do them in training. And like you said, you normally finish all your workouts in here and you're like, what else can I do?
Yeah, and that's what I felt like. I was like, all right, let's go again. Like, I'm ready to go. So, which is crazy because like my legs were absolutely fried. We're going to run out of time.
We're going to move on. But if you have questions about her experience, feel free to post them through. We can touch on things in the next one. But
before we do move on, I do want to give just another thank you to everyone for their support. Like, massive thank you to everyone who came up, like Tessa, Steve, Sarah, like especially, like they were just awesome. And Ben, can't forget Ben, but he's in the room. Massive thank you to Ben. He was awesome too. And then also everyone else who came up, like my family, like it was amazing having you all there. And then everyone at home too, like it was just crazy. Everyone has been so nice about it all and so supportive. And I don't know. I just love everybody. And I loved being able to bring that sign back and kind of give it to everyone here so that they can, I don't know, have it in the gym. I think it's just cool and they get to sort of see all the training and I don't know. Big thank you. It was awesome.
She was very, very well supported from our community and people outside of our community as well. So you guys did an awesome job. We're going to touch on some things about training tips for winter now. So it's obviously quite common for the colder weather to set in and for people to start to feel like it's a little bit harder to get up and get into the gym or get home from work and then prepare and come into the gym. And, you know, everyone's going through it. We get it. Like it is easier when the sun's shining and the weather's a little bit warmer and all those sort of things. But at the end of the day, like you don't want to have these, you know, massive ups and downs through your training. We want to be as consistent as we can, because being consistent is what is going to give you consistent results, obviously. And when you're performing regularly and getting good results from your training, you know, you feel better about yourself, you're more likely to keep it up. And these are the things that are going to deliver for you on the long term. So what would be some of your main tips, Hayley, or your number one tip that you could give someone about maintaining their training through winter?
I think my number one tip would be to just like commit no matter what. Like book your classes in. And like the good thing about here is like you have to book your classes in. So book them in advance and do not cancel them. Well, don't no-show either, because that's annoying. But don't cancel them, like unless you absolutely have to, like something comes up. But book them in and tell yourself you're going to go no matter what, because once you get here, like we're here, all the other people are here, it's going to be so much easier once you actually get in the door. But sometimes, especially like the early morning people, or if you're coming at 5:30 after work, you've been inside in the warm house all day, it's like you don't really want to go out in the cold. Too bad. Commit and just come, because you're going to feel so much better once you get here. You're going to feel 10 times better once you leave, and you'll also be warm once you leave. So you just got to come. Like we're here and we're freezing, so come and join us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing there is like understanding the difference between like what discipline is, what motivation is, and like we try and sprinkle this stuff in. I've put stuff in our newsletter about this and little posts and things on social media, but you know, I can't reiterate it enough. If you're someone that's disciplined, you turn up and do the thing that you're meant to do no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether you feel like doing it or you don't feel like doing it, you just go and do it. It's like putting the rubbish out every week. You know, no one wants to really like collect all the rubbish and put it in. But if you don't do it and you miss it, your bins are going to overflow. It's no good. So you just do it anyway. So with training, you know, your motivation is going to go up and down. It's not always going to be high. So what you need to rely on in those instances is your ability to be disciplined. And as Hayley said, book the class is the first step. And the next one is get your training gear on and get in the car and drive down here. And once you're here, everything's going to fall into place. It's going to be much easier. You're going to feel really rewarded, especially the less you felt like coming in and then you went and did it, the bigger the reward. And that just becomes like a positive like loop, a snowball effect, where the more that you do that, the less you're going to feel like not coming in. You're going to feel more reward regularly, and it's going to make it easier and easier.
And if it feels cold, like, you know, just, I would say like, put all the layers on. Like put 2 shirts on, put a jumper on, put a jacket on, put it all on. If you're sitting at home waiting, like giving yourself time to think, unless it's like the 5:30 class, then it's really hard to come more than like 15 minutes early. But say in the afternoon, you're like sitting around and you've got time, like put your layers on, come into the gym early and just jump on a bike. Like get yourself moving before class, because as soon as you get your blood flowing, like you're going to feel so much better. You're going to get that little bit of extra warm up in. You can do some accessory work. You can just like stretch. Just blood flow is like wild. As soon as you know, start moving your body, like you'll feel so much better. So yeah, if you're like sitting at home, just giving yourself time to pull out, just come into the gym. Come in earlier.
Yeah, and the best way to break those negative thought patterns is to actually take action. It's not to think about it and try and convince yourself. So if you know you've got class and you're thinking like, oh, maybe I don't want to go in today, go and grab your keys, go and grab your training shoes, put it on. Because once you do that, you'll stop trying to negotiate in your head whether you should or shouldn't go, and you'll just start taking action to do it. So little things like that make a big, big difference. And have your layers, like come in. Another thing that you could potentially do is like, you know, people who are doing all-stars, for example, like you've got some accountability to also keep yourself coming, because now like there's a bit of an expectation that you're going to be able to go to this competition and sort of put your best effort forward. So you might want to look for some sort of competition or event to sign yourself up to in the next 2 or 3 months. that can sort of help with that.
Would recommend that too for the people doing high rocks. Like, I know lots of those people have really enjoyed having something to train for. So yeah, for those of you doing high rocks, like, look into the future and pick something else. It's good to have a bit of a rest now, like for a week or so, because you've been training so hard. But once that week's up, like, you don't want to let yourself just completely drop off. So have a look in the future. Like, I'm going to start to have a look at some different comps. Ben sent me one that I'm assuming you mean you want to do that with me, because that's what
Thinking about it.
Yeah, sign us up. You've committed. I'm going to hold you to that.
I'm able to get the weekend or the day free, then we'll
So
be right.
there's like a mixed pairs partner comp that we might do, and like see if other members can do that too. I'll sort of have a look at some different events that we can put out there to members, so that, yeah, you have something to train for. Obviously, All Stars, like a lot of you guys are already committed to that too.
There's a few different things. Another one too, quickly, Down Under Champs, there is Masters divisions, age groups, so like, teens and things. There's also intermediate teams, which I think is 3 men or 3 women. There's online qualifiers workouts coming up very soon for that. We'll share some more info on that. I've spoken to Maddie about it. He's keen to try the Masters qualifiers, which I'll probably do, even though I'm like highly unlikely to be able to attend the event if I'll have a newborn baby. But like even things like that, like qualifier workouts, Down Under's coming up. Potentially we can get some more people going to that, and Hayley will be competing at least in some capacity there. So things like that. We will share more, as Hayley said. We'll put some dates and competitions out, and that might be a great way of creating some additional accountability for yourself as well.
And even if you don't want to do like a competition, you can still you can still set goals just within the gym. So, like we've got the endurance cycle going on at the moment. Like, a lot of people have done really well at committing to that. So see that through the whole way, and then, you can continue to progress that, whatever we choose to do for the next cycle. You can focus on your lifts, like tell yourself you're going to come to a certain amount of weightlifting classes or hit your squats and every week. Like, you just, got to set different goals, and then they're the things that are going to help to hold you accountable so that you come in and do those sessions. Because otherwise you'll just be like, oh, I don't care about back squatting, I'm not going to go. Like, I don't care about this, I'm not going to go. But, if you're actually really determined to get a little bit stronger, to get fitter or build your endurance, like, you are going to show up.
And don't forget, summer bodies are built in winter. So if you want to get in shape for summer, now's the time to start dialing in your nutrition, be consistent with your training. If you wait until October, it's too late. You're not going to see the kind of changes from, a couple of months' time that you're after. So, push through, all right? Like, you'll learn and grow a lot if you can. And look, overall, to be honest, like, our attendance and stuff, has been awesome lately. Probably just in this last week, we've seen a little bit of a drop here and there, or just some randomness and things. But
morning classes have been awesome. Like, the morning people have been doing really good. You Arvo people need to remember that it's even colder in the morning. So just think about them when you come.
Last one too, before we wrap up, we're just going to give a shout out to all our people who are competing at High Rocks next weekend. So some of our pairs, we got Maddie and Andy, we got Al and Ruth, Grace and Lucy, Stephen and Byron, Jamie and Carly, Eb and Scotty, and then we've got a bunch of individuals who are going to get after it as well, in Greg, Grange, Graham, Stevie J, Justin Kerr, Neil, Mel Boyden, Tony, and then some teams, Alicia, Trinity, and George. And Hayley is probably doing it too.
Yeah, hopefully. That'd be sick.
Confirming a partner soon, but she's hoping to jump in as well. So heaps happening over that Saturday, Sunday.
I'm really excited to see how they go. Like, I got to coach their final training session last week, and it was really cool. Like, honestly, massive shout out to you guys. You've been training hard, and I could tell, like, the way that, like, certain members were running into the gym with, like, confidence, going straight to their movements, like running straight back out of the gym. Like, I was very impressed. So also shout out to Katie for, like, setting up that whole program and, like, Yeah.
smashing everyone.
Yeah, seriously, it's been hard work. Like,
Yeah.
they've been working really hard, but it's honestly been super impressive. And I'm super excited to see how you guys go at the actual event. Like, you should all be proud now anyway, like, no matter how you go on the actual day. Like, yeah, seriously, like, there's...
And just remember, don't do a Haley at the start.
Yeah. Don't go out too hot.
I'll
try not to do
There's
that.
a bit of a running joke with some of the high rockers about that.
Yeah, about their pacing.
But they are super confident. From what
Yeah.
I've heard, they're like, that full run through was easier than most of the training that we were doing. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
Like, I was honestly really impressed.
Yeah, I think all those people, they're gonna get a huge buzz and a kick out of this, and then be like, when do we sign up for the next one?
Yeah.
But can't wait to see how you all go.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. And hopefully I'll get to be there and watch, especially watch Evan and Scotty, you know, Scotty was whinging that the High Rocks was on at the same time as the footy or something. So make it worth it, Scotty. It'll be good.
Watch the replay, mate.
That's what I said. But apparently he wanted to go in person. I don't know.
Yeah.
Scotty, watch the replay. There's more footy games. It's not every day
Isn't
you
he
get to
a
do High
Tigers
Rocks.
supporter anyway?
I think it is Tigers.
Mate, they're rubbish this year. Who cares?
Yeah.
All right, on that note, I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we look forward to episode number 6. We're starting to rack a few up.
Let us know if you have any special guest requests. I reckon having Andy on here would be good. But
yeah, we
also
need to
just
set
anyone.
up. We need to get a better mic
Yeah,
set up for 3.
true.
Definitely, like, I think, well, the CrossFit Games we'll shoot the next one before that anyway, won't we? So
yeah.
yeah.
We can't get Daisy though, I don't think, because she's got a month. If we shoot it
After.
or after,
Yeah,
we definitely.
We can do something in the lead up about the CrossFit Games. And
Yeah.
get people pumped around
true.
that. So
That'd be cool.
maybe we'll run a mini CrossFit Games event in here for people.
Oh, that'd be
Get some
sick.
accountability.
Yeah.
Get the
Okay.
tape lines out.
Yeah. we'll play with that. Thanks,
All right.
guys. That was
Cheers.
awesome.
See ya.